What do you think of anal sex? My name is Martha. I'm a clinical sexologist with a doctorate in human sexuality, and I'm from Eros Coaching. Anal sex is a very sensitive subject, so much so that where I come from, I'm from Singapore, where I come from, there is no articles in the media about anal sex. You can certainly find articles online. And being in Singapore, the most economically prosperous country in Asia, we're surrounded by our neighbors, Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, and they are religious countries. Muslim countries, Catholic country. And when it comes to anything mentioned about anal sex or anal play, people go, and yet I actually get a lot of questions around it. And that's simply because I believe, first of all, there's so much information out there now. And there's porn, there's experimentation, and people are also getting more educated. So they want to have more information when it comes to sex. And so when we talk about anal play or sex, we need to understand the whole taboo nature of it, the whole hush-hush nature of it actually makes it more exciting. It actually makes this forbidden something that people are even more curious about. It's kind of like been there, done that, what else? People get curious. And so I want to talk a little bit about anal sex here. So anal sex is what happens when something goes into the anus. And we think that our anus is dirty. And unfortunately, this is not true. Our anus is actually cleaner than you think. And in fact, our mouth is probably more dirty than our anus because there's all this bacteria and plaque and stuff. If you don't know how to maintain proper hygiene, then there's also all these toxins that's on our tongue. So having said that, our anus is not as dirty as people think it is. And also in order to engage in anal play, or anal sex, you don't really need to have something big inserted all the way, so much so that it's so painful. Even just playing or massaging the entrance of your anus can feel pleasurable, because our anus is actually also, the anus opening is full of nerve endings, just like the vagina. The first 1/3 of the anus has the most sensation. And if you are someone who has a vagina, then you will know that it's not about often it's not about the length, but the girth that is important when it comes to feeling pleasure or sensation upon penetration. So it's very similar to the anus. So if you want to play with the anus, you can just use your finger, and also if you would prefer, you're concerned about the hygiene, you can actually put a condom over your finger. That can be a way in which you can massage the anus without feeling that it's dirty. And you don't have to go in much. Even if you just go to the first knuckle, like I mentioned, the first 1/3 of the anus is just full of nerve endings. That helps. If you are interested to do anal play or anal sex with anybody, it is a good idea that you actually do it for yourself, on yourself first. So you just reach behind and you just massage your anus, and you notice how that feels like, because that will give you a good sense of what your partner might like as well. And I find that people who are open to having their anus touched or played with, be their anus penetrated, even if it's just a little bit, I find that those people who don't have a vagina will actually really appreciate what that might feel like for somebody who has a vagina. So I think there is a link between being able to have more empathy with your partner and also being better able to imagine what it might feel like for someone who has a vagina. So I think there are some positive things that I've mentioned with regards to anal play or anal sex. Another thing I want to mention about our anus, is that our anus is connected to the rest of our body. Our body is tubal, it's a tube. And so whatever goes in our mouth goes through our system, our intestines, and comes out through our anus. And so we're tubal. And what this means is that if your mouth is tight, so is your anus. And you can do this right now with me. So tighten your mouth and notice how your anus feels. Relax your body. Now tighten your anus and notice how your neck or your face or your jaw feels. So they're connected. So when someone is receiving an anus anal massage, it actually is therapeutic because it helps to release the tension that is in your pelvic floor region. It helps the whole body to start to unwind and relax. And this is really good for people who store a lot of tension in their bodies. I am somebody who suffers from chronic constipation. I have a lot of digestive issues. I store a lot of tension in my stomach area. And so by having an anal massage, it actually does help to relax my body. And trust me, I know this because I've had extensive training, and I teach this because I'm an educator, not necessarily partake in it per se. So being able to talk about it and doing it is another thing. Some people like it and some people don't like it. And I'm just sharing this information for those people who are interested in anal sex or anal play. So this is Martha of Eros Coaching. I hope this video has been useful, given you some food for thought perhaps. And if you have any questions, you can always email me at ask@eroscoaching.com. That's where I'm making little videos in response to the questions I'm receiving on love, sex, and life. This is Martha.